Aljamain Sterling in the corner of Dvalishvili, and landed a big right hand there.
Henry on top. Huge moment in the scramble for Henry to wind up on top.
Let's see if Henry can control him now, Merab. Usually we don't see him in this position. But I imagine he's very hard to hold down.
Cejudo controlling that left leg of Dvalishvili under 2 minutes to go, round one.
Dvalishvili controlling that wrist with one hand.
All right, so we've already looked at when Dvalishvili gets a takedown on Cejudo, but I want to look at this scramble series next. One of the things that you can guarantee is that if you get a takedown on a wrestler, they're going to want to get that takedown back. So let's look at this kind of scramble series and how Cejudo does a great job of holding Dvalishvili down. So when we roll this forward, right? Cejudo goes for this low kick, and Dvalishvili counters classically with the right hand, right? So if someone goes for a calf kick or a thigh kick on you, then the counter is going to be that right hand, obviously if you're orthodox fighters here, right? But Dvalishvili does another good thing. After he throws the right hand, he reaches down to pick the leg. Right? See that right there? He's picking the leg. Well, really slick. So right hand, leg pick. So good counter. I like that ad there. So that causes Cejudo to stumble. Now, when Cejudo stumbles, he does a really good thing. I see a lot of guys that when they get taken down, they shoot right back up like they're going to get a takedown. So they kind of fall to their bum, bang, and then they're like, no, I'm going to shoot right back up and get a takedown. And what happens a lot of times is they'll get caught in a guillotine here, or they'll be, coming up off the ground and they'll get caught with the knee, wham, right through the face. But Cejudo does a good thing. He kind of keeps his head super low here. I mean, look how low his face is to the mat. And that allows Dvalishvili to go right over top of him. But once Cejudo catches the leg, then he starts to build up, turn the corner. Notice that he goes right hand, so it's a head outside shot, secures it with that left leg, left hand, and then kind of settles into like this butterfly, guard here. We have a half butterfly and a full guard on the other side. Now, obviously, what Cejudo wants to do in this position is that he wants to step over that knee. So he kind of takes that big stomp step here. He's trying to step over the knee of Dvalishvili, but you can still kind of see the knee peeking out there. So it clearly didn't work. So what he wants to do is take this hand and kind of push the knee down or kind of control the thigh so that the thigh can't come up. But Dvalishvili knows that, so he controls the wrist. Super smart, right? So there's kind of a little battle going on here about who can get that knee in position. So Cejudo kicks his leg back. Kind of roll it forward there. See how his thigh was engaged? And he kind of kicks that leg back in their preparation for that step. Kick back, preparing for the step, trying to push, but Dvalishvili is doing a good job controlling the hand, which isn't allowing Cejudo to push it down very quick. So what we end up instead is this battle right here. Whoever can get this first is going to win. And there you go. Cejudo won that battle. He was able to get his hand on the thigh and then shove it down. Now, it's not a lot of movement, but it's just enough movement for this leg to get shoved down so that this leg can stomp over it. So not a big deal, but boom, nicely done. Now, what Cejudo does next is really impressive. See how he goes for like that triangle right there? A little marker so you can see. This thing right here. We roll this back and forward. So once he gets over the leg, he throws that foot in. Now, in wrestling, they kind of have a version of half guard that looks like a jiu-jitsu version of half guard. It's just half guard. But generally, the wrestlers will call it a Turk. They Turk the leg, kind of lift it up a little. So Cejudo is doing like this reverse Turk kind of locked up position. And he's doing a good job controlling his leg. There's a lot of squeeze here in between the thighs of Cejudo. There's a lot of back and forth squeezing right here for these thighs to keep Dvalishvili's leg from being able to slide out. Kind of once he gets him to settle down, and it takes us a second here. It takes us a second. Look at that nice reverse Turk or kind of reverse half guard thing that Cejudo has. We'll roll it forward, and roll it forward, and roll it forward, and roll it forward. Because there's a little bit of a battle going on here. And again, this is another common thing that a lot of jiu-jitsu guys don't focus on winning. But see how Cejudo puts his head kind of in that pocket underneath the chin or the throat? That's what in wrestling we call that a head position win. So he kind of wins that battle of head position so that he can flatten out Dvalishvili. So see how Dvalishvili is staying on this hip, it's kind of staying on his side, and that's making it really hard for Cejudo to hold him down. But Cejudo is like, oh, well, I'll just win the battle of head position, and I'll throw my head in that hole. You referee getting out of the way, and that flattens out Dvalishvili. So clearly, Cejudo here is doing a great job versus Dvalishvili. Head position, flattening him out. And then once he, and Dvalishvili realizes what's happening, he's beating him on head position, so he does this overarm, what we call a neck roll. Grabs kind of the chin or the neck of Cejudo, pulls it across so he can get his head underneath him again, so that he can start getting on his side. Again, Cejudo's doing this good job with a strong underhook, keeping him flat. So use the head position to kind of get him flat. Then he gets a strong underhook, kind of fighting back and forth with that, and that's this little battle that's going on. This whole time, right, Cejudo has got this reverse Turk here locked up. Now, Dvalishvili is trying to use this butterfly half guard to lift and move him out of the way. So he's got a half guard, got a butterfly on one side. So we generally call this a quarter guard, though. I guess it disagrees with what they call it, but it's like a half butterfly, half guard. And normally you use that to try and get some lift or some space so that this person can't get chest to chest. When you throw in this butterfly, they have to respect that they could get swept. And so generally what happens is they back their head chest out. But since Cejudo has this reverse kind of Turk position down here on his legs, that butterfly isn't doing as much good as it should. But good job on Dvalishvili trying to use it. A little bit more forward, a little bit of ground and pound, a little bit more forward. But I did want to look at one more thing here. That. I know it doesn't seem like much, but whenever Cejudo throws this foot over, that really locks down. I mean, this is almost the definition of a lockdown at this point. So in Jiu-Jitsu, generally the 10th Planet system, they have this version of kind of configurement of the legs, kind of a triangle, and then a leg kind of over the shin. And they call that lockdown. They're facing you, and they call it the truck if you're facing away from it. But that configurement of the legs really strong at holding something. So Cejudo did more than just this reverse Turk. He actually added this extra last little piece here, like a lockdown from on top. And that really does. It does almost exactly what it says. It locks down Dvalishvili's leg. They can't move. So again, we talked a little bit about how Dvalishvili did a really good job of holding Cejudo down, which is super, super, super difficult. So I wanted to show what it looks like when Cejudo gets a takedown on Dvalishvili and really shows him, so there are levels to this game. And this is how you hold someone down for real. So, obviously Dvalishvili wins this fight, but Cejudo's had some really great. I thought I'd take a look at least one more.